Hello! We are glad that you bought our playground. In a few simple steps, we will show you how to quickly and smoothly install your product so that your kids can enjoy it as soon as possible. The installation is divided into 3 simple steps. Before you start, remember about keeping safe distances so that the playground is not too close to the fence and other objects which could endanger the safety of those playing in it. You will find detailed information in the instruction manual. The place in which you want your playground to stand needs to be leveled. Tools needed for installation are a screwdriver, a hammer, a level, a pencil, and a tape measure. Drill bits, a spade, and drive bits are included in the package. Carefully check the compliance of delivered goods with their specifications. If there are any discrepancies, immediately inform the manufacturer about it. The specification of goods can be found in the product manual. Measure all the boards and sort them out according to their size, then arrange the accessories. Now we can move on to installation. The installation starts with laying down the 2 main bearing beams. The information about the bolts you should use is given in the instruction manual, next to every drawing. The next step is to determine the height of the floor. Remember to always drill holes in the boards before you screw the screws because it prevents the boards from cracking. The boards which determine the height of the floor need to be fastened with 1 screw so that we can still adjust the diagonals. Both diagonals need to have the same length. The instruction manual does not suggest any specific number. After you check the diagonals, you can screw in the remaining screws. Please remember to drill the holes first. Finish the second part of the tower just like the first one. Screw on vertical boards which will hold everything together. Please remember to drill the holes first. Now we can attach the component which we finished earlier. Now we can attach the component which we finished earlier. Bring everything together and put the towers upright. At this stage of the installation, make the first attempt to lower the tower. To do this, you can use small waste boards included in the package. Installing the floor. When you have chosen a beam of the appropriate length, use a small board to make it easier to determine the right height on which it should be fixed. It is a very important step because it can prevent problems with fixing components such as the sidewalls. Now the beams need to be provisionally joined together with screws. The next step is to replace the drill bit with a 10mm spade. As you drill, make sure that the spade does not go all the way through the board because it damages wood structure. When the holes are finished, insert T-nuts in them and tighten the screws. Then find the center point of the floor. Now we need to install the floorboards. Choose an appropriate board and fasten it with screws. The instruction manual will tell you which screws you will need to use. We need to repeat this step on both sides. Now, prepare a pile of floorboards. We will show you a quick way to drill holes in all the boards. We lay the boards with the pre-drilled holes on the preparation platform. Distances range from 11 to 13 millimeters, and the values may differ slightly, for example due to weather conditions which affect the shrinkage of the wood. These differences do not affect the safety of the installation. In order to install horizontal beams, place the towers on their sides. It makes the installation of traverse and vertical beams much easier. Check the instruction manual to see which beams you should use. Now, place the tower the other way and install the remaining beams. The instruction manual does not tell you to lay the tower on its side, it is just a step which makes installation easier. Installing the stairs. First, we need to choose the components we need. It will make installation much easier. Let's start from screwing all the steps together. Then we need to determine their height. Bear in mind that the stairs have a right and wrong side. You need to remember about it during installation. Now we need to screw the lozenges in the right spots at the right angle so that the steps do not turn out to be upside down. After installing the whole thing, screw on the handrail. At this stage, you will not install the stairs right away, but we can use them as the entrance to the playground. The installation of the side walls starts with drilling holes in a pile of boards. The dimensions of the horizontal beam and the vertical boards can be found in the instruction manual. Vertical boards can be used to help us to determine the height. We need to pay attention to where the front and the back of the playground is. To do that, just take the stairs and check if they fit. After all the horizontal beams which serve as railings are screwed on, we can attach vertical boards. Distances between the boards can also be found in the instruction manual. These dimensions are approximate because weather conditions significantly affect wood. The process of water evaporation makes the material shrink, so the measurement may vary by several millimeters. Now we are over the hump. Let's begin with the wall. Once again, we need to prepare a pile of pre-drilled boards and screw them on one by one, going from the bottom upwards. On the other side, we need to install a decorative band. Now screw on the sandbox boards one by one. Remember to drill the holes first. Before installing the stairs, make sure that the playground is standing in the right place. When you are certain that the level and placing of the playground are all right, you can start screwing on the pre-drilled stairs. The installation of the roof is not as complicated as it might seem. Let's start from sorting out the materials. Note the beams which make up the roof frame differ in length, so remember to pay attention to it when you screw them together. Do not forget about drilling holes in the boards first. The distance between the holes is different than in the case of the floorboards. Spacing is specified in the instruction manual. It is 90 millimeters from the left and right side of the board.
The next important step is the diagonal. Try to keep its dimensions as similar as possible. The acceptable difference is up to 5 millimeters. Install a few key boards. They will give us a sturdy construction on which we can then install the remaining roof boards. When the diagonal is set, we need to lock the diagonal with the remaining screws. As you install roof boards, start from the bottom and move upwards. The boards need to overlap, and the dimension is given in the instruction manual. When all boards are screwed on, fasten every board with one more screw. Then we need to turn the roof and find the center to install the reinforcement beam. This beam needs to be secured to every board on the roof, one screw per board. When the roof is installed like that, it needs to be placed on top of the tower. The roof can resist a little bit, but all you need to do is adjust it slightly. Lastly, we need to secure it in place using screws. Remember about drilling holes in the roof beams first. Installing accessories. Let's begin with climbing holds. Using a climbing hold and a screw gun with a drill bit, we drill holes. In the instruction manual, the manufacturer clearly specifies the arrangement of climbing holds. Let's install the slide. Now you should go back to the safety standards specified in the instruction manual in order to keep a safe distance, for example from the fence, so that your kids can safely use the slide. The wheel needs to be installed in the middle of the wall at the height of the horizontal beam. It will prevent the screw from sticking out. The installation of handles is very important, and the manufacturer describes it in the instruction manual. However, it is worth considering the height of your kids and adjust the height of the handles if necessary. The climbing line provides creative entertainment for kids. Its installation is really simple. Pay attention to the number and height of the nuts. Kids like using the rope ladder. It is real fun for them. Its installation involves several key steps. The ends of the rope need to be secured with the adhesive tape, which will make it much easier to push them through the holes. The height of the rungs is given in the instruction manual. An important step is securing the ladder to the ground. The worm screw needs to be screwed into the ground. The last step is to secure the playground in place with anchors. We need to use a hammer to knock them into the ground. The installation is finished. Have lots of fun.